Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Lando from Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. So I know where I'm going to go with this. I know the pose I'm going to put him in. So just bear with me a second while I sketch this out. So let's see. And it's going to be a simple pose. Just him standing there saluting with his little Lando salute. Because A, he's cool. He's Lando. And this makes me want to draw the solo Lando. So I may end up going and do that one too. Well, I'm sure, you know, eventually I'll do everybody. You know, it's Star Wars, you know. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, it's Lando. He's cool. I don't know. I got lost. Oh, and so one thing is too, this is going to be pretty easy. We're only going to draw one arm because I'm going to put one underneath his cape. I don't know, maybe it's a cop-out, maybe it's too easy, but it's Lando, you know? All right, let's see. But I think what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can pull this off. I got to think of how to do this. I want him doing the Lando salute, you know, where he is like throwing the peace sign, so to speak. So I gotta raise the arm up, that's for sure. I gotta throw the cape over. There's another thing. And let's see. And I gotta put some weight on him. I mean, he's Lando and he's put on some weight. He's an older man, as we all do when we get older. So I just got to make him a little thicker, you know, than normal. No big deal. But yeah, and so I got to put his gun over here too. He's got a belt going across. Gonna draw his shirt. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so hang on, let me look in the mirror real fast. Okay, so I gotta have his hand bent. It's gonna be about like that. And don't ever be afraid to look in the mirror for reference, you know? Because A, it's the best reference you ever got, and it's one you'll always have, and it's not cheating, you know? So let's see, that's too much. Okay, that's like that, that's up there, so these fingers are going to be here. Okay, so something like that. I'm gonna make them too thin. Oh yeah, that's my other problem too, is I always make everything too fat, or too long, too big, you know? Yeah, it's not too bad. There we go. That gets it. That's not 100%. I mean, you know, we can take it apart and find the flaws, but it gets the job done. That's exactly what I was trying to do. So that's the pose. All right, so let me draw my face real fast. And this is also a good study to draw an older gentleman, you know? He's a little older, a little wiser. But as we get older, we get bigger, you know? Or we don't, or we, not pudgy, it's not the word I'm looking for. We get distinguished, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. That's the polite way that I'm trying to say it. But there's, you know, there's, I guess also what I'm trying to say, there's no nothing to be ashamed of, you know? It happens to everybody. We all get older. Sometimes we get a little pudgier. Okay. Let's see if I can figure out a good hairline. What's really funny is the picture I'm looking at, he looks like my dad. He looks a lot like my dad. So I'm kind of almost drawing a picture of my dad. Okay. All right, I think I like that. I think that's good. Let me see if there's anything else I want to do. No, I think that's good. Yeah, okay, so sorry, once I start concentrating too, I always get real quiet. So I say I'm good with that. I say we do it. So let me erase some of this just because it's pretty dark. And I want the Sharpie to stand out, not the pencil line. So I'm just going to erase some of these darker lines, or I guess actually the faint lines. That's what the sketchy lines, you know? Ooh, I didn't draw the cape over here, but that's okay. I'll throw that in real fast before we get started. Okay. So I think but what I want to do too is kind of highlight, well, no. The blue is going to be in there. I was going to say I want to highlight his blue on the inside, but that's on the inside of the cape, so I don't have to worry about that. It'll show up on the backside there when you color it. So that's good. All right, so I'm going to switch over. Let's welcome everybody that skipped to this part of the video. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen is a little finer than the fine point, and I can control line widths much better. So I've sketched the entire thing out, and I've erased the faint lines. I've left like a ghost of an image. And so I'm going to start off with the eyeballs, since that's the hit or miss. If this doesn't work, then I got to start over. So I'm going to draw the top of the eyelids just to see if I've got it in the right spot. That looks pretty good, you know, size-wise to which way I've got his head laying. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some pupils. Oof, kind of small there. So that means I got to do that one small too. All right, and so now I'm going to just give him a little bit of old man sad eye. Just like that, not too much, because he's not sad. But you know what I was talking about in the sketches. You know, he's gotten older, so we can give him some lines. All right, so that's pretty good right there. I like that. So for the nose, I'm just pretty much just going to draw nostrils like this and like that. And as much as I want to do more detail, like for the bulb of the nose, I can only go so far. So I'm going to stop right there before I start inking in and getting it very muddy, because this is going to bleed too much if I go with these tiny details. So here, I'm just going to kind of give him a little bit of a smile, like that. And just for the bottom lip, I'm just going to kind of Draw a little bit of a line in there, and I think he's got a mustache, so I think I'm just going to kind of draw a few little lines like this just to kind of accent that he's got something there. But I don't want to draw the entire thing, so I'm just going to leave it like that and just let color take care of a lot of those lines. Okay, so I'm going to give him a few old wrinkle lines, just a few like that. So now I'm going to work on the rest of his face, and so I'm going to draw the side of his head like this. And something I've often talked about too with these drawings is I'm not a caricature artist. I can't draw people exactly the way they look. So, you know, don't expect that. It's just going to be an old man that looks like Lando. We'll say it that way. Okay. So I'm going to draw his other side of his face over here like this. I'm going to thicken up some of these lines. To help me hide the curves, you know, to make it work better the way I want. But also, I'm about to switch over to the other Sharpie, and that's a lot fatter. So I'm just kind of making up for what's about to happen. Okay, so I'm going to draw his ear like this, and then draw his hair. And I'm just kind of playing around with his hairline, because his hair is just kind of pushed back, you know. All right, so when I get real quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. All right, so that'll help me just to what do you call it? Just define a few things. I'm kind of giving him a little bit of old man lines. He's gotten older, you know. It happens. All right, I'm gonna stop right there because I'm gonna keep going. If I don't stop, I'm gonna keep going. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So. All right, so I'm gonna do one more tiny little line like this. There we go. Now I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna switch over to the other Sharpie now, and I'm gonna draw his neckline into his shirt, which is kind of coming down like this, with the other side of it kind of flapped over, and it's gonna kind of go into his belt. So I'm just gonna kind of stop there and let the belt come over, but I want to draw more of the cape and stuff to give me more stop lines before I go too crazy. So I'm going to draw his cape. I've got it raised up because this arm is up. So I'm going to draw that lapel of the cape like this, then draw it over his shoulder like that. And I'm going to draw a few lines just because it's all over increased. You know what I mean? It's raised up. And so now I can, you know what, let's draw this side of the cape. That'll help guide us with edges and lines. Okay. I'm sorry, did I say that? His cape? No, that's his lapel for his shirt is what that is. Right? That's what it looks like to me. So I'm just going to draw the other side of his shoulder like this. And I'm going to draw the cape down. So like that, and it's covering up this other arm, so we're halfway there, you know. I mean, we're just going to kind of play around with edges now. All right, now I want to do more, but I kind of messed up right there, so I'm going to see if I can fix that. Something like this, just to let us play with those lines. So now that we have that, I can do his shoulder line here. So I'm gonna, or not shoulder line, his shoulder strap. Not his shoulder strap, it's like a belt pouch. Or gun holster, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, don't watch the trailers, too excited, don't want it to be spoiled. So I have no idea. I'm just going by what the picture looks like. So I can see an edge of his gun. That will do like this. Like I said, I can't see too much of the detail. I can just pretty much just do that. But nice thing is we've got a cape, so we don't have to worry about it. So let's draw his arm over here. So I'm going to draw his shirt kind of wrinkled and puffed because it's creased as it's bent up. You know, you got all kinds of little creases like that. So I'm going to draw his sleeve like this. I'll draw his hand. Ooh, I drew that way too. That should have been over there. Let's see if I can fix this. So I'm going to have to draw his thumb over like this. Draw his shirt sleeve back like that. There we go. That might work. I kind of messed up, but that's okay. Because I drew his hand like really, really thin now. So let's see if I can make this work. So I'm going to draw his thumb like this. And what I do is I have him kind of throwing like the Lando hand sign like that, you know. So I'm going to come up here for his fingers. The other one like this. Ooh, it's a little thin. Okay, so that means the other finger's up here like this. The other one's like this. Yeah, see, that'll work. That'll work like that. So now I'm just going to fix it because it's so hard to draw a lot of detail with that fat Sharpie. So I'm going to draw a little bit more like this. Just because I can. And hopefully that'll help us fix like some lines in his hand. So it didn't quite come out the way I wanted, but that's okay. Because we're always going to work with what we got, not cry about what we could have had. So those lines are a little thicker than I wanted them to be, but that's okay. So it looks like he's wearing a glove. Didn't really mean for that to happen. It's a little too detailed, but we're going to make that work. All right. So let's just draw the rest of them here. So we're going to draw his belt like this. Then I'm just going to draw his legs. Pretty much just regular pants. Because nothing more to it. It's this Lando, he's just fashion conscious, you know. It's not about action pants with, you know, all kinds of crazy things. It's Lando, he's more for fashion. Okay, so I'm going to draw his boot like this. I'm going to draw a few little creases and folds just to give us something. You know, we got to have some stuff. And we'll just do something like this. A lot of that's going to be taken care of with color anyway, so I'm not too worried about all that. But I just wanted to do a few little lines just to, you know, give us some bring it to life. You know what I mean? Like that. So, okay, so last thing, oh, nope, I wanted to do one more for the foot, like that. Do this one like this, a little something like that. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just draw the inside of his cape. Come down like this. Go across there. We'll do a couple of lines because, like I said, it's all bent up over there. Just like that, just to show that we've got, you know, some folds in the back too. So, all right, so I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Lando from The Rise of Skywalker. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.